CFF presents 1% Better, a podcast about
CrossFit, nutrition, coaching, mindset, and community.
Join us as we embark in casual conversation to shed light on what life is like within these black and yellow walls. With episodes coming at you every Monday, you can follow along with Coach Whitney and Taryn as we talk shop about all things CFF. Episode 52. Today, we're super excited about talking about today's episode. Today, we're talking about our Fit Future Youth Scholarship that we have developed here at CrossFit Function over this past year. And so today we're going to take our episode down that path and kind of explain what it is, what it's all about. This is Coach Whitney's project.
It's our project.
Yeah, but I'm in support of it. It fits our vision. Like, I'm down for this, but this is your baby. And I'm quite proud of that too. So I think that's awesome that you have this project that you can pour yourself into, and we can watch some really good things happen down the road once we get it up and running.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting when it kind of came about. We were having a discussion about like leaving a legacy, and we had talked. You had talked about a scholarship long ago.
It was
over a year ago.
Yeah, it was part of our vivid vision when we first made that for the gym in and of itself. Was like down the road about 2 or 3 years ahead. What are some things that like you want to have accomplished or have the gym accomplish? And one of those things was developing a scholarship fund and what that looked like.
Mm-hmm. And I think when we revisited like our own personal desires and our own desires within the gym, leaving that legacy, that scholarship came up again. And I think we're now just in a place to kind of push it a little bit further along and actually make it happen.
Implement it and watch it grow and have that effect on, the younger generation's lives that we are setting out with the intention of accomplishing. Mm-hmm. Fit Futures Youth Scholarship.
Shout out to our members for helping us kind of put together
the name of it.
Because we did run a contest, and although we didn't pick like an exact name from the contest, I think just the gathering of the words and phrases kind of blended and meshed together to become Fit Futures Youth Scholarship.
So I know why I want to leave. Yeah,
I hate this.
You hate when I ask you the questions, but this is your thing. So
I know.
This episode's about you.
I also hate that too. But anyway.
I know why my legacy, like why I want to leave a legacy and why I want the gym to leave a legacy. Like, why is yours surrounded around or rooted in the youth?
I think because I've always done something with youth, whether it was in my past life as a dance teacher, I was always working with youth. Even from a teenager age, I was already starting to teach dance and working with kids. And I think that's just grown into a much deeper way to impact kids via CrossFit, via what we do at CrossFit Function. So having the ability to set kids up and oftentimes needing that financial support to do that just goes hand in hand with our junior academy program and now having this scholarship set up.
And I think one key word that you said was impact.
Oh, yes.
So when we talk about legacy, impact is the word that usually goes hand in hand with that.
Well, and I think that word sticks out in our vision, right? To impact the lives of people in our community.
Yeah.
That is what we are here to do. And I think for you, I know that that's like a broad scope, and it is for me as well. But if I can channel that towards the youth, which is my strong suit, of course, that is just so further reaching than what we can do for adults. Because we have so many members who come in here and say, I wish I had this as a kid. And it's like, well, now we do, which is super awesome.
I was literally sitting here thinking to myself, like, that was my next train of thought, was like, I wish that I had this when I was their age.
For sure. And I think it's so awesome that we do have that now and we can provide that. And now this scholarship makes it more accessible for the youth in our community.
It's rewarding. And we just did an episode all about why this job is so rewarding. And now I think we've taken this like outside of just the day-to-day responsibilities of our job. We're not using the stage that CrossFit Function has developed to make that impact further reaching.
Well, and I think too, like
more impactful.
What's that word? Like you and CrossFit Function, even before my time, was always a giving business, right? You've had your check-in for charity forever. We always donate to the Soup Haven at Christmas time. We do these outreaching things. So this is just another platform where we can give back, which is cool.
So how did we, like, let's just kind of fill our listeners in, like how we came about, like, this is what we wanted to do. Like that the means of the scholarships would be the most impactful way that we could drive that forward.
We kind of just started brainstorming. Honestly, we sat in our famous garage door spot and just like, I think we knew if we could have this opportunity in terms of funds, we could do big things, and not just for individual kids coming into our program, because that's something that the scholarship will support, but also further reaching out into our community. So these funds will not just support kids coming to our program, but they will support kids doing other programs that require activity, or that'll support schools, their breakfast programs, getting more equipment into their gyms, or other programs that revolve around activity and healthy, active lifestyles. So I think it just, when we started brainstorming of what we wanted this to be and how far reaching it would go, we even talked about funding kids heading to university for degrees in kinesiology or whatever that might look like, in terms of now they're coming back and this is going to go full circle, hence the word futures, because I think that's super important. So those kids going off into post-secondary are now being set up to help other people, right?
And like when I think back of when this discussion first started, it was when you really started getting into the schools before COVID had shut everything down.
Yeah.
Was, you know, we were in 7 out of 10 elementary schools. We were doing all those things with numerous grades. How many hundreds of kids, day after day after day, in all different sorts of ways.
Yeah.
And as you got more into that, you could see just how much their lives were improving just with the half an hour or the hour you were spending with them once or twice a week, you know? And I think just watching you kind of go through that program and watching it grow, and your excitement level for the reward that you were getting out of it, this just felt like the next step. And so when we talk about, we had always had an intention of a scholarship, you know, for us, when we first began this conversation, it was just a monetary support, like you said, for post-secondary or whatever, just having that sort of impact that way. But once you started to see just how it could affect these other kids that weren't directly involved with us, that was like a no-brainer. It's like, if we want to stick to our word in trying to impact as many lives as possible around the community that we can, it's going to take this extra level of commitment back to our community. And, you know, this is a great opportunity, I think, in terms of like how we've tried to encapsulate that. Yeah.
Like, and going back to when we were in schools, like with the schools running their programs and our programs running here, that was 150 kids a week that I was seeing.
Yeah.
Like, and when you think about that, like, that's insane. Like, that is a lot of kids to impact. And even though it might only be like a half an hour one day before school, that still meant something. And to get the feedback, not only from the kids, to see them understand the impact that that is having on their everyday life, and mostly in the school system, because I was going there, and they could see that correlate to, I can focus better, I have more energy, I am a happier human being going into my classes. But then also to get that feedback from the teachers, like, yeah, we have seen this change in this group of students who is spending time with you. That was super rewarding. But then we can also see it play out inside our own building, where parents are saying, my kid's happier, my kid's more confident, they have really found something that they enjoy doing and thrive at, whereas we have been searching for that thing for them. They're not into dance, they're not into hockey, they're not into this and that. But again, to provide these opportunities, I think it's just It's really cool.
Yeah. I love it.
Me too.
All right, let's get down into the details.
Okay.
Let's tell everybody what this scholarship kind of all entails.
Yeah. So funding was a big thing that we talked about, like how is it going to be funded? And we've got various avenues for that. Events we run, some of them will feed and fund the scholarship, which I think is cool.
Yeah, things like we talked about the beatdown being
Yep.
a contributor of there, that some of the profit from the beatdown being directly brought right back into the scholarship program.
Yep.
You know, there's other various events that we're going to run and allocating some of those resources towards the scholarship. And that's, I mean, from my perspective of like the overrunning of the company, that's really cool that we can do that, you know?
I actually just had an idea. This is how our ideas come about in a conversation. I think maybe we'll run an event, a family workout event, and we can use that to sponsor that.
I think that's a great idea.
Ooh, good idea. Write that down.
There, that was a risk. Putting an idea out on a podcast. I like
felt
it.
pretty confident about that one.
Right.
I can envision it happening. I think that'll be cool.
What kind of, so we kind of touched on it, but like, who would be available for this, or like who could apply for this, or like who could access this scholarship?
I think the application process will be open to anyone and any kind of school that is looking to raise funds and needs support that way. I think what we're looking for in terms of the application process, which we talked about being a two-parter, both like a written formal application, but also a social media type application to support that. Just
like a short video.
Yeah, because
show us why this would mean, what it would mean to you.
And I think that two-step part is important, because it's not just somebody filling out a piece of paper looking for money. And I get that there's those people out there, and we have other means to direct them to those resources. But I think that second step with that social media aspect adds an extra layer of commitment to what you're doing and what you want.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think that goes hand in hand about what we do here, like being committed to your goals, being committed to your activities, and the process to get there. So I think that layer is going to be really cool to watch and see that develop and evolve. And I think just kids and teens looking to go further or looking to do more will be a great fit for that. And same with schools looking to enhance what they can offer to their students through, again, equipment or a breakfast program. We were starting to get into that at Columbia before COVID happened. Just a way to support their community in the avenues of healthy, active lifestyles.
All the pillars.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
I love it.
Okay, so back to funding, because we were on that little tangent there and I got into my great idea. We will also accept donations to our fund. We actually had a member, instead of doing one of our support local referral programs, she actually donated that back to our scholarship fund. So that was really cool.
This part makes me the most mind blown, but also the most proud to like see situations like that arise. Like we've had situations like that arise with members trying to pay for other members' memberships. You know, it just goes back to like our members care. Yeah. We care about them. They care about us. They care about each other. We all care about each other. And so to make a gesture like that, to want to support us in this vision that we have of fulfilling this scholarship and all the different types of lives we can influence, I think that, like when I first started this 10 years ago, that is not something that I could conceptualize, you know? I wouldn't even say 2 years ago was something that I could conceptualize. And as the culture in here has shifted and the types of people that we have in our environment right now, and the environment that we have also created, it's almost like a no-brainer, you know, that people would come out of the dust, not the dust, but like out of the whatever, and be those types of people that want to support something like this and say, hey, I want to make a donation. Like, that is cool. And not only people too, but other businesses within the local community as well, who align with our vision and our mission. And there are businesses, you know, so by all means, if you are one of those business owners and you're like, yeah, this is awesome, I want to be a part of this, absolutely, we want to partner with other like-minded companies.
Yep, 100%. Just having a flashback because you were saying like this wasn't something that was on your radar when you started 10 years ago or anything like that. When I was a kid, well, not a kid, I was a teenager in my early dance teaching years. I organized an annual like gift, like bring in toys to donate to the fire hall to give to kids. So I not that this type of thing was on my radar in any sense, but just that giving back to people, I feel like has always been something that I have done. So it's just kind of cool to do it in a bigger, broader scope. I think that's cool.
Nice. And I mean, that fits in with the core values of our staff though, so it's no wonder that
100%.
that is something of your past and how you still operate. That's a personal core value of yourself and also of our team, and I know that anyone else on our staff would operate and be on board with this, which they are, so that's cool. Yeah. And I guess like when I speak personally myself, mine has always come back in the form of like coaching or mentorship or my time, right? Giving back to the high school or whatever in terms of my time and my mentorship and what I've learned along the way. So yeah, that's just who we are, right? Yep. Just makes sense.
For sure.
And that's arguably, that's why a lot of our members align with us because they are very similar, like-minded individuals also.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What else can you tell me about it?
What else do you want to know? See, this is why this doesn't work. You put me on the spot. I don't like it. Now I know how you feel.
Well, there's no like
the tables have turned.
There's no timeline associated with it. No. It is just something that's always accessible any time of the year. It's not a seasonal thing or a calendar thing. It's like if you have something that you want to do, you can apply to have us help be a part of it with you.
Yeah, and there's no like, as of right now, who knows what happens in the future, but there's no like this money can go towards only this or only that. Like we are open to ideas and means of supporting that. So yeah, bring us your ideas and what you want to do and how we can help you and we can take care of it.
So while this is still in the process of being built and launched, it will have a place on our webpage eventually with an application process embedded right on there for our whoever to pick up and apply for it. Right now, we just wanted to sort of get the word out there. Hey, this is what we're doing. It's already established. It's already collecting money. Like this is, it's operational, but the application process is still in development. So, yeah, I'm so excited about this. This really makes me feel good on the inside.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm interested to see like what that broader scope is going to look like.
Yeah, it'll be
like I can already off the top of my mind think of a few things that would easily qualify for something like this, and just wanting to be a part of those things.
Yeah. So
if this is something that down the road you think can benefit you or somebody by all means pass this information on. Let them listen to this episode. The application process, like Whitney said, will be a sort of like a formal written application, but then also requiring you to submit a video of some sort of, we want to know why this is important to you, why you want to do these things, like how it's going to help you grow and benefit and then in turn help others too, because that's a big core principle that we're about. So incorporating all those things in there. And then, once we can see how much this means to you and the impact that it alone can have, we're on board.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
This was a great idea.
It's going to be good. It is going to be really good.
All right. Fit Futures Youth Scholarship.
How many times have you practiced that?
Oh, I'm glad it's written out in front of me. Don't get the words mixed up.
There you go. Awesome.
Okay. So if you have any other questions about, the scholarship or what it all entails, if you want to be a part of it, if you want to be a monetary donator, or whatever that might look like for you, whether you're a member or not, doesn't matter. Please reach out to us. You can follow our socials, access us there, send us an email, whatever you need to do to get a hold of us, how. Episode 52, CrossFit Function Fit Futures Youth Scholarship.